I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, October the 7th races at Hastings. We do have 8 races on Sunday, 8 races on the holiday Monday, no live racing on Saturday, but don't worry, you can get your fill right here at the Derby.
You can come on out to the Derby Barn Grill. We are doing a handicapping contest this Saturday. So something to do on Saturday, and then next weekend we run Saturday, Sunday. After that, we'll have our regular handicapping contest every Saturday throughout the winter.
So handicapping contest this Saturday.
Yep. Get out here to the Derby Barn Grill. As Mike mentioned, 8 races on tap. It kicks off with a maiden 8 for 2-year-old fillies, going 6.5 furlongs, field of 6. And I did go to the 6 here. Our Rebel Lady out of the Mike Anderson barn, good second behind a well-meant Mark's miss last time. That little drop down, you know, the maiden special weights were obviously a bit too much for her. Went for 12.5, was competitive, in for 8. Amadeo Perez aboard, leading rider Amadeo Perez. Him and Mike Anderson batting 40% together. Our Rebel Lady for me on top of the 2, Haida. Pat Jarvis got a couple in, 3 in here actually.
3, got half the field.
I like Haida. 4th for 16. Timeless Shrugs, decent horse. Kissa. And that was her first start. Only got beat 4 lengths. Second start, she should move forward. And I threw in Stay Cool, the Mark Kluche barn. Mark's having a great year and really good.
His babies are going.
His 2-year-olds are doing great. This is the daughter of Stay Thirsty and one that could move forward in her 3rd start. I went 6-2-1.
Yeah, I went the 2 Haida. I just pretty impressed with the first up run. Didn't show a whole lot of speed, but raced wide, and there was no speed on in that race. The horse still, held its position and was actually running on well at the end of the race. 47 flat, really had no chance coming from off the pace. Was rested. Obviously, something went amiss, but 3 good works, or 4 bunch of works since the race. Dennis Arrojo re-rides for Pat Jarvis. I thought on paper was the best of the Pat Jarvis horses. I agree with the 6, Artie Eve Lady. A good runner-up effort to Mark Smith last time, and had every shot to win, but just was second best. But still, not a tough group here. And the one horse that finished behind her, Stay Cool. She's live as well. She has speed, got the inside, has the inside. Miguel Rodriguez is not riding for the remainder of the season, so Enrique Gonzalez picks up the mount. And of course, he's sitting second in the jock stand, and he's only 1 behind Amadeo Perez, so keep an eye on that throughout the day. But 2-6-1 for me in the Sunday opener. On to race number 2, got some fillies and mares here. $16,000 claimers, non-3 lifetime. The same 6 that ran last time are going to hook up again. Yep. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, I know.
Like a harness race, like they say, coming back every week.
They are all
but these same 6 are going to slug it out, different posts. But Expensive Taste was pretty impressive in that win.
Yeah.
Citroen kid just sat the trip in behind the speed, popped out, easily blew by both Classic Statement and Maury Girl, and then went on to a nice win. And hard to see her not being able to follow that up. The sloppy track might have helped her. We'll see what the track is going to be like on the weekend, but she's live. I put Classic Statement and Maury Girl in behind. I got the same 1, 2, 3 horses. I went 4, 5, 6.
I agree. Expensive Taste was very impressive this time. Actually, I think it's the last 2 times these fillies pretty much all ran against each other. Expensive Taste for me on top. I agree. Classic Statement in the second spot. No clever picks there. They finished 1-2 last time.
We get a different winner each time too.
One,
We got
two.
Babylon,
Yeah, exactly.
Paul. We had Expensive Taste, and now maybe it's someone else's turn.
So as you mentioned, I did put Babylon will fall in the 3rd spot because there wasn't a lot of pace for her to run at last time, and if it does get a little hot up front, she'll come running late. She's a pretty talented little filly, another Mike Anderson runner. I went 4, 5, and 3 in the second. On to the 3rd, 4,000 fillies and mares. Going 1 mile and a 16th, field of
6 now.
Field of 6 now. Peach Pike, who was my pick, she's out. She was ineligible for this race. So I'm going to the 3 Convergent. Could not have been more impressed with going 1 mile and 16th last time in a 4 non-3. Won by 13.
Yeah, that's solid.
That's a big number. Got a 60 buyer. I'm going Convergent with Aaron Grider on top of Jaina in the 2nd spot. Jaina got on a little roll there, 1-2 in a row. She fits in as well in here. Definitely live. Going long, she's only raced long twice, but she does have over a wet track, she does have a win in the second. And when she was running longer earlier on, she was running against way tougher horses. So that doesn't scare me, the fact that, she was in 16 non-3s, a maiden special weight. The fact that she's down here for 4 going long.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, that doesn't scare me. And Velociraptor, she's another one that goes back to the Milton Palmer barn. He had a fair bit of success with this filly, and she was going good, going long for him. Last time he ran her long, she won by 6. Velociraptor in 3rd. I went 3-2-1.
Yeah, I have the same horse. The Convergent should be tough. Repeated that race, should win the money. Looks some speed in here with the 1, 2, and 4. Even Belly Girl likes to show some speed. Convergent's going to get a good pace to run at. I agree with Jaina. She's been sharp. She hooked into PG Star through the opening half last time, kind of softened her up. She ended up just losing second late, but she ran a good race. Lady Cash just won easily in 16 and change, although the track was quite fast. But I don't mind her. And I put the 6-horse Belly Girl, who likes to route. Tough trip last time. Ran a better than look third behind Peach Pike, so I think she's worth a look as well. 3-2-6 for me in the third. Fourth race does feature $16,000 older runners here.
Good race. Going
6.5 furlongs at a field of 8 signed on. I went to the 1, Twist Grips, narrow, unlucky loser to Maggie's guy was given a perfect ride by Saheen Savachi that day. Just split horses, like just waited for the split to happen. Didn't really use the horse, and once the opening happened, he had horse because you're not wasting time checking or anything. Just dove right through and rode a great race. Twist Grips had to go around and was closing fastest of all at the end. Looks like there's speed in here with Satellite Storm, Prado's Way, Omega Victory. The odds are good. Silvertown.
Yeah, there's
plenty of speed in here.
Twist
Grips for me. I put the 8 Silvertown in for second. Not the most consistent horse around. Did get things all his own way last time. It was a speed favoring track. He got a 22 and 4 opening quarter, which was like a 23 and 3 on a normal day. It was a really fast track. And this horse scooted away and won easily. But things are tougher from an outside draw. It picks up weight, 224 pounds. But he still have to respect the horse. And I put the 5-horse Maggie's guy in for third. Dreadful trip going along. My only trouble with him is it was just last weekend.
Yeah.
And he was 4 wide, 5 wide, 4 wide back. It was like he ran a good race. Just circumstances got him beat last time, and it was a dreadful trip. He's worth another look. 185.
I had trouble with this one. You can make a case.
So did I.
Yeah.
I had left out Ace Deuce. I'll have out Satellite Storm, who's a solid sprinter. The odds are good, who we pick. Both of us pick all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a tough race.
It is a tough race. I went to Ace Deuce.
I can see him.
I looked at Twist Grips too, but I think Twist Grips comes from a ways out of it. And if you go back to Ace Deuce's sprints, he comes from just off it. I think he gets a nice spot in behind the speed here. As you mentioned, there's a fair bit of speed in here. And I think he gets first crack at it, and I think he could run down Silvertown and win it. I got Ace Deuce on top. I agree, Silvertown in second spot. Absolutely demolished the field last time. But he did get, he was over there by himself.
That was an on 3.16 too. He's up in class.
Yeah.
This is an open 16.
But nonetheless, he absolutely crushed.
Destroyed them. Yeah.
So I can't get past him, but he is not going to get soft fractions today. Silvertown second and Twist Grips, your top pick. I had him as my top pick. I went back. I just think Ace Deuce gets a jump on him. And he's going to be laying a little bit closer, and I think that's why Ace Deuce. The last time Ace Deuce was in for 16, he won. So I'm going 2, 8, and 1 in the fourth. On to the fifth. Optional 50 for 3-year-olds. Field of 7 here, going 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 3 Wise Market. You go back to his sprints earlier on in the year. He won the River Rock Casino over Argosy Fleet, Slew to Boss. That was a tough feat. He's running good going long. I mean, second in the Sales Stakes behind a very tough older horse and Straight Remark. This could fit him very nicely for trainer Phil Hall. Our leading trainer is doing everything right. Amadeo Perez has had a lot of success on this horse. Wise Market for me on top. I put He's the Reason. Glenn Todd's got a couple in here. He's got 3 actually. I like He's the Reason. I think it sets up well for him. Richard Hamill's going to ride him. And I threw in Smart Deal in the third spot. This is a cool little horse from El Snow that shows up every time, fights, runs hard.
Unlucky.
Yeah, I know. 7 starts this year.
If you told me he hasn't won a race this year, I'd say you're lying.
I know.
This horse is like right there.
He's always right there and just getting beat. But I wouldn't leave him out of my try. I went 3, 7, and 6.
Yeah, I agree with the 3 Wise Market. I don't love the horse, but I can see the horse with the class relief being very tough.
Yeah.
These are a lot easier horses than what he's been facing. Maybe not a lot, but I mean, still reasonably easier horses than what he's been facing. Wise Market should be tough to beat. He's a good speed horse. When he gets the lead, he's generally very tough.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be near the lead, or he'll be out there with Proof It.
Yeah.
And not a lot of speed in here. Just 1, 3, and that's it. 1 and 3. There's not a lot of speed in here.
And Proof It to his inside, so he gets to
sit on the outside
apply the pressure.
Yeah. I put the 6-horse Smart Deal. I agree with the one of the unluckiest horses on the grounds. In for second, and the 1-horse Proof It, who dueled through some pretty tough fractions going along last time and hung on well. Maybe a better road horse. I think he ran better last time routing than he did when he was hooked sprinting. He still got beat by Panhandle and Smart Deal by a wide margin. He was lost by a last against Brave Nation and Smart Deal when he was cooked on the head end.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a tough horse to read. But anyway, I like him a lot. He definitely deserves respect. 3-6-1 for me in the fifth. On to the 6th race, a waiver claiming a $4,000 Philly Mare maiden race going a mile and a 16th. I really like the 4-horse here, Champagne Waltz. Was kind of caught on a hot pace last time. I thought she ran on very well, running against the boys. Postman was to his inside. Next Out Winner Unleashed was to his outside. And she ran, I thought, a credible race. Actually, her last 2 route races against the boys have been very good. Gets in against the girls, and I just think she's going to be tough on the head end. The 6-horse Seagrove Bay on the class drop. She too ran against the boys last time against Storm Rocket and Transplant, and it'll be a first try going along. But she's certainly bred to like it, being a Sydney's Candy out of an Unbridled Song mare, so definitely she's live. And I put the 9 Grace Hopper, who didn't get the best of trips in her debut here at Hastings, and she wants to route, I think. I didn't think she really wanted to sprint, so I'm going to give her another shot. I went 4, 6. I've left out Essie Rose and Bombay, who we've seen a lot in these races, and they can't win, so I just tried something different. 4, 6, and 9.
I went to the 6, Seagrove Bay. She's been right there. 2 stars back, gets beat a length by a big dropper in Rain or Shine. Then, as you mentioned last time, ran against the boys for 8 and only got beat a half a length. Now in for 4 against girls. Seagrove Bay for me on top. I put in Grace Hopper, as you mentioned, the Glen Todd runner in here. And that was her first start. Big field of 11 last time, and she was down on the inside and just kind of got shuffled back early.
Wet, fast racetrack. It was kind of a lousy track to be off.
Yeah,
the
it's kind of a mess.
She didn't get my best of trips at all.
And now she's got a one over the track, and I think she could move forward in her second start. I don't want to leave her out. See, Grace Hopper for me in the second spot, and a horse you touched on, Essie Rose. I put her in the third spot. She's going to break through one of these days. She's been knocking on the door. Lenny Seashore on a board. 6, 9, and 1 for me. In the 6, on to the 7th, 4 and on 3, 4, 3 and up. Colts and Geldings going a mile and a 16th. I went to the 5, Mr. Finch. Just kind of fell apart last time. You go back to the race before that 8 and on 3, only got beat a length and a half. He's been up and down the ladder. He won an optional 25 earlier on this year, and now into a 4 and on 3. I just think he's got the talent. Speed should be dangerous. I don't see a lot of other speed in here to go with him. I think he gets the lead and goes a long way for Enrique Gonzalez. Mr. Finch for me on top of the 2, Chase the Money. Another one dropping out of the 8 and on 3s. Aaron Grider retains the mount. Only got beat a few lengths last time in that 8 and on 3, and a 4 and on 3 should suit him well. He's got a nice off-the-pace style. And I threw in, who did I put in? 7, Parsimonious, the third spot. 4 and on 2, absolutely dusted him. Came back in a non-winners of the year.
Non-4.
Pfeiffer, we found gold, Laguna Blaze, and had a brutal trip. Now into a 4 and on 3, should get a better trip today. 5, 2, 7 for me.
Yeah, I like the 1 horse in here. I like Fantastic Command quite a bit. Almost a year to the day, this horse went stretched out going along. Ran his best race of his career by a mile, and he showed good speed. It wasn't 24 and 4, it wasn't great speed, but still defeated Master Yoon and Panning for Gold. It wasn't the strongest field, but still. The bottom line is the horse likes to run long. I think that's what the horse wants to do. His sprint races this year have been decent. Run Harvey Run lost to. Never getting beat much in his races. And last time he actually broke very well, showed speed, but Great Blake was faster and was outside of him.
Great Blake's tough.
And once Great Blake cleared him and kicked some slop in his face, he kind of shied, turned his head, and a couple horses shut up in the inside, and he ended up being 5th, beaten 2 lengths and out of position wide. And he was 4 wide the whole race. I think from the rail, Citroen just puts him right on the lead, and he's going to be maybe not on the lead with Mr. Finch, but be really close to Mr. Finch. He should get a good trip in here. So I like him to defeat Mr. Finch, and I agree Parsimonious for 3rd. He's the one, if they do both hook up and fade, Parsimonious would be better. He had a terrible trip last time, Parsimonious. On to the 8th and final. I got a field of 7. 6250 claimers here, going a mile on the 16th, and I ended up on the 3 horse here, Perfectly Reckless. I think this horse is going to be dangerous on the head end. Ran really gamely off the layoff, running in the marathon on BC Cup Day behind Lucky Ending, and didn't care for that, but came back sprinting, and this horse was fighting on well at the end behind Prado's Way, Always Sunny. I thought it was a really good race considering he was 3 wide the whole race. I like him maybe to defeat the 7, Sunset Drive. And this horse ran decent on the class drop, ran into Willing to Travel and Bluegrass Angus. Both those horses are pretty solid. But he's won routing this year, and I think he'll be a player, as well as the 1 horse Sergeant Rick on the class drop. I left out all Super. I can't play them all, but I went 3, 7, and 1.
I went to the 1 Sergeant Rick on the class drop. That race 2 back. For 16, just got
set up that day, but still ran good.
Just got beat a neck by Silent Eagle. Silent Eagle, of course, came back to run or win for 25, and now we'll see him in the premiers tomorrow. Not sure what happened last time. Never really got involved in the race, and they were going slow up front. He was well back. look for a better trip today under Enrique Gonzalez. And with a class drop, I think Sergeant Rick's going to be dangerous. We got Sergeant Rick. On top of that, a horse you touched on briefly, El Super. Toss that last race out. The one before that only gets beat a length and a quarter behind Shooting Jack. I don't think he wanted to go a mile and 3/8. Even a mile and 1/8, he was right there. And I think he's got the ability. There's not a ton of other speed in here, and I think
no, there isn't. It's kind of quiet for speed. Perfectly Reckless will be out there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see two Milburns killing each other. So
I think El Super goes. So I think he's the one they have to run down under Amadeo Perez. El Super for me in second. And I threw in Talkins Charm, the cool old 11-year-old. Look for him to come rolling late. He only got beat last time behind Shooting Jacket and Citron Kid, and that mile and 3/8 race. This is back more in his comfort zone. He's won 12 times going a mile of 16th. I got 1-2-5 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday card. Up next on screen will be our picks.
Here we go, back in race number 1. Here we go. I went to the 2-horse, Haida. I'm going to go 2, 6, and 1. Race number 2, I went to the 4, Expensive Taste, and try for a repeat there, 4, 5, and 6. Race number 3, I went to the 3, Convergent. Big win last time, might be another big win for her again. 3, 2, and 6 in the 3rd. On the 4th race, hopefully the pace sets up the 1. Twist Grip's going to go 1, 8, and 5. Race number 5, the class dropping number 3, Wise Market, going to go 3, 6, and 1. Race number 6, the 4, Champagne Waltz, going to go 4, 6, and 9. Race number 7, the 1, Fantastic Command, going to try him over the 5, Mr. Finch, and the 7, Parsimonious, and the 8th and final, I'm going to go with the 3, Perfectly Reckless. Going to go 3, 7, and 1.
On to my picks there. Back in the first, I went to the 6, Our Rebel Lady over the 2 and the 1. The second, I agree with Mike. Number 4, Expensive Taste over the 5 and the 3. The third, I'm agreeing with Mike here again. Number 3, Convergent, coming off a big win over the 2 and the 1. The fourth, I went to the 2, Ace Deuce over the 8 and the 1. The fifth, number 3, tough race here, good one though. Number 3, Wise Market, the multiple stakes winner over the 7 and the 6. In the 6th, I went to the 6, Seagrove Bay over the 9 and the 1. The 7th, number 5, Mr. Finch over the 2 and the 7. And in the nightcap, I went to number 1, Sergeant Rick over the 2 and the 5.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Hopefully giving you a little insight into the Sunday program. Hopefully some winning insight anyway. Our next live card, of course, will be Monday, Holiday Monday.
Yep.
First race at 150. We do have 8 races again on Monday. 2 stakes races. The $100,000 Ballerina goes as the 5th race, headed by Reginella for trainer Blaine Wright. And then, of course, the Premiers runs as race number 7. We have a big gate there of 10 of them going a mile and 3/8. Once again, a $100,000 stakes race. And the likely favorite there will be Absolutely Stylish for Peter Redekop and Phil Hall. But 2 excellent $100,000 stakes races on the Monday program as part of our 8 race.
And before we go, we are just about a month away exactly from the Breeders' Cup.
Yes.
If you want to come and enjoy that here at the Derby Bar and Grill, give us a call. Be sure to make your reservations.
Seats fill up fast.
604-536-2978. Yeah, it's filled up. This is the spot to watch the Breeders' Cup coming from Churchill this year. So be sure to give us a call and make your reservations.
On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do,